Happy Sunday, Bitcoiners. I just watched the market tank. We pulled out like hundreds of millions of dollars in longs. It's not funny. Just got called out. You know what? It's interesting to me that people, when they listen to these people who shill Bitcoin, and they always tell you, click the link and you can leverage trade. Don't leverage trade with your Bitcoin. If you want to keep your Bitcoin for future generations, do not leverage. Don't do 10%, 20%, 36%, because you're going to get rich and you're going to make money faster. Don't do it, because this is what happens. People get called out on their Bitcoin. They leverage, Bitcoin dumps. The whales pick it up. They call you out. You lose your Bitcoin. You lose your margin. Don't do it. It's such a waste of time. If you believe in Bitcoin, you don't need to leverage trade. Don't be greedy. Don't be stupid. I've leverage traded. I've option traded over the last 30 years in stocks. A lot of them have expired useless because, back then I was trying to be greedy. I thought about how rich I was going to be if I bought options, and then, the stock, if I just bought the stock and held it, I'd have made a lot more money. So don't do it. It's stupid. Bitcoin's sitting around 59,000 right now. I think it could do a quick wick down from here. I don't know, but I picked up a bunch more Solana at 134. Maybe it'll go down more. I don't even know, but I got some money sitting in the reserve. Worst case, what you should do is you should buy some Bitcoin and then have some USD sitting on the side. In case there's a crash, you can come in, you can pick up a little bit more Bitcoin or Solana or Ether, whatever it is that you love to buy. But stop using margin trading. If today isn't a good lesson for you and you lost money, then I guess maybe you should just buy stock options and gamble and pray. I don't know, but the Japanese markets are down. Japan's market, if they collapse, it's going to cause a worldwide collapse for everyone. Because if one market goes down, it's going to wreck them all. Jay Powell had the opportunity to lower interest rates last week. He's an idiot. He didn't do it. Unemployment came in at 4.3%, which means that they need to lower interest rates. They knew they needed to do it. They didn't. So now they're either going to have to hold an emergency meeting to drop the interest rates 0.25%, or they're going to have to wait until September. And if you know anything about how markets work, whenever they make a market adjustment, it takes 6 to 9 months for that to actually, funnel into the market. There'll be a lot of FOMO. People will get excited. The stock market will go crazy. But, the liquidity that's needed to be able to provide jobs isn't going to be another 6 to 9 months. It'll be well after Christmas. So no matter what they do, it seems like the Fed is always late to the party to get things done the way they're supposed to be getting it done. It's mind-numbing to me how completely stupid these people are. I was listening to Michael Saylor at Bitcoin 2024, and he talked about how the first nation that adopts Bitcoin is going to be the winner. And we're still waiting for that first nation. You'll notice that I said last week, Donald Trump got on and said, we're going to keep the 200,000+ Bitcoin we have. But he didn't say anything about buying Bitcoin. That's because I don't think he wants Russia and China and India to know what his intentions are. I think we're going to start stacking Bitcoin once Trump gets into office. But I think he didn't say anything because he's afraid that if he said we're going to start buying it if I get elected, which I think he's going to get elected, Russia and China and the rest would start amassing Bitcoin right now, and we'd be behind. So I think it was a very smart play. So you got nation states that are going to start fighting over Bitcoin. You have large corporations. You have sheiks over there in the Middle East who are looking to buy Bitcoin. You have Michael Saylor, who bought a couple hundred more Bitcoin, and he's talking about buying $2 billion more in Bitcoin. There aren't that many Bitcoin left on exchanges. They're only creating about 450 Bitcoin a day, right? And there's several thousand Bitcoin being taken off of exchanges permanently by whales, by institutions, and what have you. If you guys can't see the writing on the wall, then you need to go back to school, like first grade math, and figure this out, because you've got probably until January of 2025, and you're not going to be able to afford Bitcoin again. You might as well forget trying to get to 1 Bitcoin. It's never going to happen. I was looking at Berkshire Hathaway has made 1,000% interest on their on their Berkshire Hathaway shares since 2020. And I looked at the M2 money supply over the last 24 years. And if you look at that money supply, the way they've deflated the value of money compared to Berkshire Hathaway's, what the value of their stock is today, they've actually made a little over 2.5% interest per year on their money. So when you go, we made 1,000%, 2.5% a year, it's not that much. If you look at the rule of 72, if you take any interest rate and divide it into 72, it'll tell you the number of years that it takes to double your money. which means that it would have taken Berkshire Hathaway at 2.5%. They would double their money, in like 30 years. So the numbers are all skewed. When you look at how great stocks have performed, how high real estate prices are, all the rest, the value of homes don't change unless you're in some premier place like New York City. The value of property changes because the value of the dollar is being ruined. That's why your property went from 100,000 to 200 or 250 to 500. Not because it's more valuable. It's because the value of the dollar is being destroyed by the village idiot, the border czar, and I shouldn't just pick on them. It's really the whole swamp. They're destroying the dollar. They're printing it away and destroying our economy. They're destroying everything. The only thing that is literally bulletproof is going to be gold, which why would you want to own gold anyway? Or Bitcoin. Bitcoin is moving around 50% a year since Satoshi wrote the paper. It's not too bad. It's going to continue to move that way for the next several years. So I would suggest, if you do not own Bitcoin, dollar cost average in, buy some Bitcoin, buy some of the IBIT ETFs if you can't afford Bitcoin, buy some Solana, buy some MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is going to be $1 trillion company soon when Bitcoin runs because of all the Bitcoin they own. Like I said, Michael Saylor is going to buy $2 billion more in Bitcoin here shortly or MicroStrategy is. When they start doing their reporting down the road, their quarterly reporting, and Bitcoin's running, you're going to see MicroStrategy go to the moon. They're going to do their stock split on August 7th. They're doing a 10-for-1 stock split. I would suggest that you watch the stock split, sit back a few days, because generally when a stock splits, it drops a little bit after the split, and then buy a bunch of MicroStrategy stock. It'll be sitting around $150, I guess, a share. If you could buy one of those every time you get a paycheck, buy some of that. Or, like I said, dollar cost average into Bitcoin. You're screwing up if you don't do this, guys and girls. Now is your chance. This is your once-in-a-species opportunity to get involved in Bitcoin. Buy the Bitcoin Standard. Saifedean Ammous wrote it. It's a great book. Read it. It's a great book. Buy it. You can get. I think you can listen to the Bitcoin Standard on YouTube for free. So when you're driving to work, look up the Bitcoin Standard and listen to it. You're going to be absolutely blown away when you finally realize what Bitcoin is and how valuable it is and how much garbage your money's going to be worth zero. If you got money stuffed in an IRA, you got tens of thousands stuffed in the bank because you're smarter than everyone, you might as well just buy yourself a pack of matches today, go to the bank, take the money out, and just light it on fire on the curb, because your dollar is going to fail. I don't care what anyone says. The doctor has spoken. That's what's going to happen. Sorry. I feel like there's something else I want to talk about, but I'm not going to, because I'm drinking my Tim Hortons coffee. I'm going to work on my roof. My kids are going to a pool party. I spent 28 years in the Navy, and I don't like the water. I don't like the Navy. I don't like swimming. I get seasick. I get seasick on a swing set. I have motion sickness on a swing set. What is wrong with me? I need to figure out what that inner ear thing and figure it out, because it really sucks when you get seasick on a swing set. Anyway, speaking of coffee, I drink Tim Hortons. If you're buying Starbucks coffee every day, you're spending $8 on a cup of coffee. $8 times 30 days, $250. You could be dumping $250 into Bitcoin every month, or you could have been, and you still can. So my suggestion is find one of your vices that you piss away money on, whether it's drinking Coca-Cola or, Starbucks coffee or whatever it is, or beer. Every time you want to take a drink, put that money into a piggy bank. At the end of the month, buy Bitcoin. There it is. That's my financial advice for the day. Crypto noobs, it's going to be 90 degrees here in Michigan today. This sucks. I like hot weather, but damn. Like Forrest says, that's all I got to say about that. Crypto noobs, have a good day. Buy Bitcoin.